Right now in Trackmania, there's a community project to beat as many unbeaten author medals as possible. And out of over 300,000 user-made maps, there's only about 800 left to beat, which is a pretty impressive number. But a couple of weeks ago, that number was down at just 500 maps left. The project has been slowing down, and the main reason for that is that the tracks that remain now are just so absurdly difficult. The stuff people have to play is just unbelievable. So today, I thought I'd show you some of the best records that players have done, and you can see really what they're up against and why it's taking so long. And we need your help, so please do join the project. There's a community Discord that you can join and join the hunt. But without further ado, let's watch some sick Trackmania runs. Alright, so we're gonna watch these in no particular order, just clicking through the track IDs I've been sent by people. This is the map Bad Ideas 44, and it doesn't have a lot of finishers, but you have a reactor booster, you have some blocks in the distance, and this is what you have to do. Record by Nova Star, take a look at this. Flipping the car into a reactor flight, cool. Now the reactor expires at this point, and what are we doing? What are we aiming for? Oh, of course. Of course. The mapper designed this map to make it so that you have to plastic bounce after such a long reactor flight into the finish. And if you'll remember from some of the previous videos, this is far from his only map like this. This is Bad Ideas 44, and they're all kind of like this in different ways. Alright, I couldn't find the exact map I was thinking of, but here's an example of Bad Ideas number 6. When I say they're all like this, I mean it. Like, they're all just ridiculous reactor flights across the map with some type of bounce or trick or precision gap you have to fly through. Crazy stuff. Glad people are indeed playing these, because I would not. Alright, so this is a map that players got stuck on for a very long time. If you look at some of these older records that are in the 7.1 range, you will see that they all do a Uberbug off the block here on the side and fly into the closest finish they can reach. And yet they're missing 1/10 of a second. And players were trying this for hours, just, okay, let's just assume you can get a slightly better, slightly lower Uberbug up to the finish, and you'd win. But that wasn't the solution. Leones found this just 3 days ago, a far better solution where you flip on the magnet, land on the nose, and nose bug out to the left instead. Also using the vibe skin, which we love to see. But yeah, here, very strange, he's traveling left and gets a left nose bug, which is not so easy to get. Beautiful into the first finish, and another really difficult author medal taken for the team. So this next one is from a series called Blame Lars. This is from Lars's puzzle competitions, and players in this competition had to hunt their author time to a ridiculous degree, because the fastest time would win. And so it's left a lot of really strong author times. Again, credit to Leones for beating this one. There is a low input strategy here. Not so common that you see this in Trackmania 2020, so we gotta go back to the start and slow this down. We gotta go back to the start and slow this down so you can see what happens. There's a bumper into a crash, you bug slide at an exact timing, and then you get a plastic bounce out of the checkpoint with speed preserved. Then you need to drive down through a checkpoint, close to the checkpoint here, and touch the ice for additional rotation. So you have to press drift left exactly at 0.7 seconds. And you can see that all the cars do that, and here they diverge. So it's very tedious to hunt this because you're trying for that exact brake timing. Like if I try now, press forward, and this. Oh, didn't happen. Let me try again. Didn't happen. And so you would just sit here like this, waiting for a perfect start. And finally, you have one chance at getting this. And Leones clutches up, beats a very difficult author time again. So super impressive. Okay, this map. Yeah, this is crazy. So this is from a map series called I Don't Mind Ruining Your Day. This is when mappers build difficult maps just to destroy someone's random map challenge run. And Salad Fingers finally beat it. First player to do so. It's a dragon yeet into the stadium, bounce on the grass hill to fly up to the finish. You cannot reach that finish block without bouncing, and you cannot beat the author time unless you bounce directly into the finish. So anything that like doesn't bounce in a good way here is dead. Like, even after getting this yeet, you know, if this got a bit of a slower bounce, it wouldn't have been it. So this is absolutely mental that this one is finally done. But just try to think about the combined time it would take to beat all of these, like the combined effort, and then you start to see that is why everything is slowing down. This right here is a rejected khaki track. It's called Good Luck Yeeting. The first one you're kind of given for free in that you can do a low input strategy for it, and you set up like this. Then you have to bug slide, and now you're on your own. And L Bart here gets a very low bug slide into bug slide on the stadium. And then you gotta release, you gotta time it. He decides for the lowest finish. Maybe would have reached the top finish, but we're not sure. And he beats the other time by 0.3. But if you look at a run from Cam here, for example, like Cam did everything correctly. He does the same start, lands backwards. His bug slide just goes a little bit higher, so he's a bit less speed here. But this is like a clean run, you know? Like, he didn't do anything wrong necessarily, he just had a different outcome. And the same for all the other runs here. You can see everyone here just yeeting towards the finish. Perhaps Spamary, the only one that should have had it as I see it now. Oh, there was a bit of panic here. Spamary could have had it, but alas, it's done. That's what matters. There's also stuff like this left. This is a alternadeo category called Ground Clippers. And what this category is, guys, is that all checkpoints are removed and the finish is below the floor of the stadium. Your goal as a player is to clip into the ground and fall down as quick as you can. It's different how you do it on each map, but here, Insanum found out how to do it really quickly by turning around the snow, clipping into that ledge, and falling directly to the floor. The others had done a similar strategy, but going backwards, and that ended up being not fast enough. So, nice find by Insanum with the forwards into backwards under the ledge to make it for the team. Now this map, guys, I thought no one would beat for a very long time because this is validated by Dragon PNTM, doing the exact same trick that Salad Fingers did, except Dragon PN invented this, alright? He's done this on so many maps. So here, what Dragon PNTM did is build up 900 speed, he got the yeet between the flags, and flew directly into the finish. This was a very fast time. Flopper did 55 seconds, and this is something that I didn't really think was possible on this map, but he's doing the stadium nose bug. So don't mind the skin here, he's driving with the stadium car, he builds up a ton of speed inside the stadium. And if you haven't seen this, well, prepare to be amazed. This was found out quite recently, and what you can do is, when you have about 800 speed, you can steer sharply to the left over this ledge, land in the nose bug position, nose bug, bounce on the glass, and the finish looks so unbelievably far away. But here he just barely reaches it and flies directly into the finish line for a perfect run. Essentially perfect run. So this one is crazy, and it really shows the power of this trick. Like, as long as the finish is in the side area of the map and not the middle, you can pretty much reliably reach any finish. And I've seen nose bugs that even reach this platform here. So the power of this trick, guys, it's quite powerful. We'll see it more and more, I think, on some remaining maps. Speaking of Dragon PNTM, guys, he recently beat one of his own unbeaten maps and unbeaten author times by 1,000th of a second. He's the only guy to finish this map, and he's done it twice now, in about the same pace, but thankfully for us, this one was quick enough. So he is gonna Dragon Yeet, as you might expect for his map, and this is a rejected khaki track, where after Dragon Yeeting, you have to buggy slide into the bumper that's on the wall, and then fly all the way up to one of these holes, land into it, and float down into the finish, quick as you can. And it is just a miracle for us that he lands exactly 1,000th to the good ahead of his author time. Just incredible. Like, this sequence right here is, I don't know, it's insane. Just insane what this guy does with his maps. This next map is an absolute unbeaten author time classic. Look at this thing. It's 5 seconds long, but it has 1,000 players. And what you do on this map is you drive, press forward into the wall, you slam your head against this wall, and you try to get a fast time. You try to get pushed into the pool as quick as you can. That's the entire map. And the quicker you can do this, the better. And you might think, oh, look at my time, I'm only 600ths away, this will be easy. But there are players that have spent hours and hours and hours and hours trying this to no avail. Blue Fox the closest, missing it by 1,000th. And finally, recently, Zeep became the first player to do it with a 574. So look at this, this is an insane bounce down, how quickly that goes. You can't really even tell because the finish cuts off, but he gets this weird hit on the left wheel and on the right wheel at the same time. It's like a double plastic bounce in one, and that pushes him very quickly. And it's notably different from the others. You can see that he doesn't get pushed so much with the back wheels, he gets pushed with the nose down into the water. So the one Z-pad was incredibly rare. And this map, and there's one more I'm going to show right after now, they don't look impressive. They don't look that crazy. It looks so simple, so press forward. But these are some of the most difficult and annoying maps to play, and we need warriors on them. So I commend Zeep for the effort here, for bothering to play it. So this map, guys, you'd be forgiven for thinking that it's easy, but the run from CA here is perfect. Like, it's literally perfect. I've played this map, Carl Jr.'s played this map, Giuliano, several other incredible players have played and tried this map and not gotten closer than a few hundredths away. And the main issue is that you need to full speed over this hill without losing grip or sliding, and it requires perfect precision. And then after that, you need a very quick bounce off of the ledge of the finish across the line. And CA here does everything essentially perfect. It's just it looks effortless, but this is a multi-hour hunt to get a run like this. So just insane that Infraliminal got beaten on this one. I did not think it would happen, and it did. Insane. This one, guys, again, it's gonna look innocent. Is a map where you have to do a bug slide fling into another bug slide fling to fly into the finish here. And Liam Spiderhack spent 6 hours grinding it until he finally got it. And the most incredible part about this run is that he gets it in one fling. Everyone else who's finished this map had it in 2 flings. But if you look, he gets a perfect fling close to the wall, dodging that, and flying into the finish, and beats the author time by 500ths. I think Liam might have lost his mind, but he did it for the team. Thank you, Liam. Now, guys, I haven't hunted that many author times lately. I did get one, which I am really happy with, and it's on a map that looks innocuous, only played by 6 people. Author time by Jippy Pig 555. Doesn't seem like a map that'll be too difficult, but this track has some really difficult reactor flights that you need to do, so I am really happy with this run, and I'm gonna show you why. You start out with a reactor flight here where you need to spin the car, then time when the reactor boost expires so that you can fly directly to the checkpoint, land with a bit of speed, and then you get a new reactor. This one is, again, reactor up, so here, sharp turn, you land flat, and you just climb the block here to get into the next checkpoint. There's a faster way to do that, but we're going for consistency here, and you'll see why as we go for this flight. You can see the red arrow in the distance there. We're trying to fly through the hole and again get the checkpoint directly. Get it a bit awkwardly here, but stabilizing on the checkpoint, and we continue. And after doing all of that, you need a direct flight into the checkpoint in the distance here, and this is the furthest flight yet. So here, you're trying to estimate when does it expire, when does it expire, and when it does, you want to be exactly lined up, which after many hours of hunting here, I finally had. I think this took me like 6 hours to get in total. And after getting the checkpoint, double respawn. Don't choke the last flight now into the ring, it's easy. I do have a big lead. And like, yes, I beat the author time by 3 seconds here, but there is no part here that you can fail. You can only have them a bit slower, but you have to get everything one shot. So this is one I'm very proud of. I have done a little bit of work for the team as well, though it doesn't compare to some of the other stuff we've seen, but I'd throw mine into the mix there for a cool one that's happened lately. Right, so next up we are going to a khaki track, and this is not an unbeaten author time, but this run is too cool not to show in the video, and it is of Laciop, who is an unbeaten author time hunter. So Laciop and a couple others were going through old khaki maps looking for shortcuts, and they went to Spam's track here and they noticed, there is plastic in the scenery. Plastic on the bottom of all of these pillars. And so they spent a couple hours theory crafting, and then they came up with a really silly idea. And turns out it works. As soon after Laciop got this run right here and beat the world record by 6 seconds. So he starts out on the grass. Right now he's gone off the track and there's no way to get back onto the track. But that's not where he's headed. He is headed for the plastic. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna wallbang on the left here, set up a bug slide between the pillars, hit the plastic again, making it a Uber bug straight into the finish. Shortcutting this khaki track and getting a world record by a huge margin. Normal way, you'd have to go over these quarter pipes, jump straight, land back down upside down, and jump up here and over to the finish. And he just skipped all that. Like, what? Like, I am so glad we have this guy on our team and that he's, for the most part, hunting unbeaten author times instead of making incredible author times. We need players like him if we're gonna hit 0. This map right here was played by Giuliano and a lot of his community on stream for several hours. They all hunted it in a room together and no one managed to get it. And what you have to do is you have to bounce on the wall here and get pushed far enough out from the wall that you fly into the finish. So all in all, booster, crash the hole, crash the wall, through the checkpoint, and down to the finish. And 4 days ago, Deeper Jungle got this one here, where he crashes against the top of the checkpoint to get a full speed push down into the finish. Beautiful run, just look at how this ends up working out. Not sure he was really going for that, but it just so happens to work out. And I mean, based on this, guys, you should already be noticing a pattern. There are a ton of these short 5-second tracks with an author time that is essentially impossible. It's slop. There's just a lot of slop left. And then you have the Alternadeos, which is its own category of slop. This is the kind of stuff that is left. It's not great. All right, it's not great, but look at what people are already doing. Look at what is behind us, right? There's this huge pile of 330,000 maps that's behind us. And there's this tiny pile of 800 maps that remain. I absolutely think that as a community, we can bring it down to 0 maps left to beat if we don't count ones built in 2026 and onwards. If we only count up until 2025, December 31st, I think we can beat them all. We are down to 5 maps in 2023, 22 maps in 2024, and 46 maps in 2025. And out of those, there are a couple where you're gonna need Dragon Eats, and there is this one, which probably the only way we can make someone play it is if we put on a huge bounty. There's also this one. For this map, we're gonna need our best reactor players. We're gonna need Flopper, whatever, Juntao, we're gonna need them all. Look, I'll show it because it's just so absurd. You start with a reactor boost here, and you have to fly all the way out under the plastic ceiling and stop on this reactor block. Each reactor only lasts for 7 seconds, so this is a far flight. Then here, you fall off the edge, fly with the reactor, again 7 seconds, it expires about here, and you need to aim and land behind this wall for a 3rd reactor. Now here, you get a new 7-second boost, you fall off, you fly, and what you are aiming for is this gap for the finish. So the first 2 reactor flights are really hard. The 3rd one, aiming a reactor down full speed flight through this gap, I don't know. It's like we've seen people do this on the flopper maps I showed at the start of the video, but doing it after those 2 flights against Quentin's pace, fingers crossed someone is crazy enough to go for it. But yeah, that is about all the runs I've compiled for this video. There are many more, but I just wanted to give you guys a short insight into what's going on. Join the Unbeaten Autotime Discord, link in the description, and hunt some maps yourself. I also am making some more videos about other Unbeaten Autotime records, but they're gonna be on like extremely long tracks. There's some 17-hour tracks that have been beaten recently, and I'm gonna make one about some cheated author times that were beaten as well. So make sure you stay tuned for those, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys tomorrow for a new video. Bye bye everybody, take care, thank you for watching, see you later, bye bye.